big official in North American Soto Zen, and he's obviously Japanese. And he was talking about radical Zen. He said, it's just about relationship. It's just about being present. Things naturally create each other. And I was happy that he said that because it meant that I'm not off on some crazy trip of my own. I'm right in line with the whole teachings of this religion that I joined quite a while ago. So as we walk, we'll get to know ourselves individually, but also collectively. And we also walk as kind of representatives of the human race, or perhaps the civilized human race, which is the part of human race that has done the damage. Let me see. Anything else? Yeah. It's like it'll be repeating to say, so we think that we do things, and actually things do themselves. And so trying to shift that, that way of thinking and that way of relating to the universe is actually, that's what enlightenment is. To carry yourself forward and experience myriad things is delusion. Myriad things come forth and experience themselves is enlightenment. That's Dogen, the founder of Soto Zen, or the founder of Japanese Soto Zen, the founder of the school in which I'm very grateful that I stumbled in. So in my mind, that's what the walk is about. And then there's a whole thing. There are other people who have thoughts about what it's about, and then there's the whole picture. There's the mechanical and geographic picture of the walk, which I'll say something about, but I'm thinking maybe I should pause before I do that. Does anybody not understand? You know, if you didn't understand what I said, you will be doing several people a favor if you actually ask a question, because somebody who's too shy to ask a question will be glad that you asked
so
it.
you're not there as activists, but as witnesses.
It's sort of like witnesses. It's like we really, the way we want to be there, we want to do a lot of listening. And we want to listen to the people and to the land and to everything that we encounter. So yeah, it's like witnessing is visual, and I think, but yeah, we're there to be there. And there's a thought that being there in that way actually does something. It's
Watch
an
out,
act.
you're getting into doing the business now.
I know, it's a problem. It's
I
like
think
the
it's
hardest
true.
thing.
Yeah, but it changes the atmosphere.
Yeah. Aaron.
I have an interesting thought, because I know, I feel really drawn to this movement, and I've been really supportive for a while in this direction, and I'm excited to be getting on this bus and going. But I still have this thought in myself that I am doing business. There are times where I'm not doing business, where I feel like I'm really focusing on being in a state of meditation. But I really have a great desire to engage with the healing movement and to spark that in the populace for the healing of the world. And I don't know if I'm in my philosophy and how that relates to the one that you're presenting as the walk that we're making.
Yeah. So that's the difficulty that I'm having. When I speak to Buddhist groups, they always bring up this. They understand the not doing thing, the no goal thing. And when I speak to anybody else, they want to know what the goal of the walk is.
So you're on the edge between them.
So I am stuck between them, and
You're on the edge between them.
I'm on the edge between them. Yes, right.
Not stuck.
And I'm trying to. Well, it feels extremely difficult, because on the one, I desperately want my grandchildren to have food, green trees. I mean, it feels like desperate to me. It feels totally desperate to me, and this is like a last ditch throwing my body into the that space, and maybe something good will come of it. And if it's hopeless, I still need to do it. But yeah, that was
Well,
a good
isn't that the
question.
place where it switches to the Zen? If it's hopeless, I still need to do it.
Something like
so
that.
in a
Yeah.
sense, it's
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know in the hopeless world, because it's like I really, really want my grandchildren to grow up. And the way I read things, it's touch and go.
well, yeah,
So, yeah,
that's the edge.
yeah, right. And I know that, like, my getting out there, I respect the warrior energy. It's like, and I have signed a pledge to get out there and support the Lakota. And, I mean, I do that stuff, but it feels like the gift that I can offer that other people aren't offering is this other space. And so I'm like making a sincere effort to hold this other space, which is just be here. You want desperately, but let's just be here. And let's study the wanting. And let's study what it means to be human in this time.
I was having a thought, and I'm going on the walk with Shoto and the captain of this bus over here. And I never knew Sun Zen. What was the word?
I
Can you
said
talk a little
zazen.
louder?
Zazen. I never knew Zazen before this moment today. It's a stillness and allowing the universe to begin to almost breathe through you. And yes. And when you open to release our attachments to everything that we've learned in this culture, everything that we're supposed to be, you begin to act in a way that is more in accord with harmony and abundance. And fear begins to transcend. And that is one of the most important aspects of this, is that we have this wound in the earth that is the tar sands, that is the extraction industry, generally speaking. And we have to recognize it and honor how it has brought us to this point of enlightenment and how it has shaped all of us. And then we move forward with the universe breathing through us to bring that abundance, and listen to the signs of the universe. There's synchronicities everywhere that tell you your path. You just have to learn to listen.
So that was beautiful. And I was like, yeah. So that's how this walk is zazen. And we'll help it along by doing sitting meditation, which I call zazen. And I'll give instruction, so that people will do whatever they do. But every morning and evening, there'll be like a pretty rich meditation and ceremonial life, because it's going to be really hard. And when things are hard, you need more structure. And so we'll have to put up with each other. And it's been interesting, because people have been, it's like, I mean, Davey in particular, it's like we have a fight, or I criticize something he does, and we go, and then all of a sudden he gives in and thanks me. It's like, wow. Because it's like I'm authorized to be a teacher, but I haven't had students. I don't know what it's like to have students. But it's like, it's really interesting. And we're all going to learn something about that. I'm not asking anybody to be my student. I'm just asking them to go along, to kind of, it's called following the schedule, It's like, well, if you're sick and you can't get up, you let somebody know. And otherwise, you're there, You show up on time and do the things that people are doing, and we'll work it out together. I was happy to hear from, I got to have lunch with, what's her name? The woman who led the water walks. Like 8 years they did these water walks in all directions. And she's Ojibwe, Sharon Day is her name. And she described what their walk was like. And I went, oh good. Because it sounded so much like what I want this walk to be like. And I went, that means it's possible.